Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Jenny, you won't believe what I stumbled upon this week. It's kind of blowing my mind a little.
Oh, you know I love a good mind-blowing tech story, Mark. Lay it on me. What rabbit hole did you fall down this time?
Okay, so you know how we've been talking about Siri and Alexa for years, right? Like, they're practically ancient history in the tech world at this point.
Sure, the digital assistants that live in our phones and smart speakers. I use mine to set timers and play music mostly.
Right, but here's the thing. I was just reading this report, updated just this year, comparing them to ChatGPT. And, oh man, the difference is staggering.
Wait, are we talking about that AI that can write essays and have actual conversations? I thought they were in totally different leagues.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so fascinating. See, Siri and Alexa are primarily designed for task execution. You ask them to do something specific, and they do it. Hopefully.
Yeah, like, Alexa, what's the weather? Or, Siri, set a reminder for tomorrow. They're helpful, but it's not exactly like chatting with a friend.
Totally. But ChatGPT, oh man, this is the cool part. It's built on these advanced natural language processing models. So basically what's happening is it can actually times understand times the context of a conversation.
Okay, wait, let me get this straight. You're saying ChatGPT can actually follow a conversation like a human? Like, it remembers what we talked about earlier?
Precisely. This report from ClearCogs highlights that ChatGPT can remember past interactions. It's kind of like, you know when you're talking to a friend and they bring up something you mentioned last week? ChatGPT can do that.
That's wild. So it's not just reacting to individual commands, it's building a conversational history.
Right. And this ability, it comes from being trained on these massive data sets. I mean, we're talking about a mind-boggling amount of information. It gives ChatGPT this incredibly diverse knowledge base.
I can already hear our listeners thinking, okay, that's cool, but how does it actually affect me?
Well, think about it this way. Let's say you're asking for advice on something complex, like planning a trip or, I don't know, understanding a complicated news story. Siri or Alexa might give you a generic answer or point you to a website.
Right? They'd probably just do a web search and read out the first result.
But ChatGPT, because it understands context and has this vast knowledge, it can give you a much more nuanced and detailed response. It can even tailor its advice based on your previous questions.
So it's more like having an expert on call than just a simple voice assistant. I saw a quote from Katie Notopoulos, a senior correspondent at Business Insider. She said that the ChatGPT 4o voice assistant speaks with lots of emotion, which is not something you find in Siri or Alexa.
Yeah, and it's not just about information retrieval. This ability to understand context has huge implications for things like mental health support. I mean, imagine having a chatbot that can actually track your emotional state over time and offer relevant support.
That's a really powerful idea. It's like having a digital companion that actually gets to know you. But, hold up. Can we break down the customization aspect? Because I know that's a big deal for a lot of people.
Totally. So this UPDF report I was reading mentions that ChatGPT offers way more customization options than Siri or Alexa. You can personalize its writing style, its tone, even its personality to some extent.
You're saying I can make it talk like a pirate or a Shakespearean character? My mind is officially blown.
Excited laugh, right? Isn't that wild? You can't really do that with the older voice assistants. They're pretty much stuck with their default personalities.
That's true, they have their quirks, but it's not like you can change them. This level of customization in ChatGPT, though, it makes the interaction feel so much more authentic.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of the user feedback highlights too. People are loving the conversational capabilities of ChatGPT. Reddit threads are full of examples of people having these surprisingly deep conversations with it.
I bet. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. But I have to ask the obvious question. What about privacy? Are we sacrificing our data for all this cool tech?
That's a crucial point, Jenny. And it's something that the reports address as well. Siri and Alexa, they do collect user data to improve their performance. And that raises all sorts of concerns about security and potential breaches.
Yeah, there's always that worry in the back of your mind, like, who's listening in?
Totally. But here's another area where ChatGPT is different. According to these reports, it doesn't collect any personal information. That's a huge deal for privacy-conscious users.
That is a big deal. So, you get all the benefits of advanced AI without that constant worry about data harvesting. It's almost too good to be true.
I know, right? But it's important to acknowledge that there are still ethical considerations. Like, people becoming overly reliant on these AI companions. There's a risk of social isolation, maybe even a decrease in real human interaction.
That's a valid point. We don't want to end up in a world where we're all just talking to our AI buddies and forgetting how to connect with real people.
Totally. And then there are the regulatory challenges. Data protection laws are struggling to keep up with the pace of this technology. It's a complex issue that needs careful consideration.
Absolutely. It's like we're entering this new era of AI, and we need to figure out the rules of the road as we go.
Exactly. And looking ahead, it's clear that this technology is only going to get more sophisticated. The reports talk about advancements in natural language processing and integration with other emerging technologies like blockchain.
Blockchain? How would that work with AI assistance?
Well, it could potentially be used to enhance data privacy even further. Imagine a system where user data is encrypted and stored on a decentralized blockchain, making it virtually tamper-proof.
Okay, that sounds incredibly secure. It's like a digital Fort Knox for your personal information.
Right? It's all very cutting-edge stuff, but it gives you an idea of where things are headed. Continuous improvement and personalization, more natural conversations. It's all on the horizon.
It's a little mind-boggling to think about all the possibilities. We're a long way from just asking Siri to set a timer, that's for sure.
Totally! We're witnessing a real paradigm shift in how we interact with technology. And honestly, I'm here for it. It's an exciting time to be alive, Jenny.
I agree, Mark. It's going to be fascinating to see how this all unfolds. Thanks for breaking it all down for us today. As always, you've given us a lot to think about.
My pleasure, Jenny. And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the world of AI. Until next time, stay curious.
And keep exploring. Bye for now.